There's a very big development to report tonight that could have a huge impact on how things on the ground could play out, not just during, but also while voting in the UP Assembly elections. The race for the throne in Lucknow could once again become one-sided. Highly placed sources in the BJP have told Times Now that the UP Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath is the front runner. Yes, viewers, I'm underlining my words, is the front runner to contest from the symbolically important seat of Ayodhya. This is most likely to be announced in a few days, today at a very high-level meeting of the top body discussing the strategy of the UP elections. Nominees for the first 3 phases have been decided. Ayodhya doesn't fall in the first 3 phases. So viewers, in the ensuing meeting, this decision will be taken. Now viewers, this decision, when announced, could see the BJP changing its campaign catchline to Kashi se Modi or Ayodhya se Yogi. More than the Vikas double engine, the BJP will be hoping that its Hindutva double engine will galvanize the voter, in particular the Hindu vote. Remember viewers, it is because of the Hindu vote cutting across castes, especially most backward denominations, that the BJP has been able to conquer Uttar Pradesh and maintain its stranglehold over the politics of the state. It has become a catch-all party for a large number of backward castes which were earlier suspicious of the BJP. Viewers, however, after the 3 farm laws having estranged Hindu Jat voters from the BJP and some recent high-profile OBC netas exiting the BJP's fold, BJP strategists are looking to Yogi with his pan-caste appeal to check the further erosion of Hindu support. This has become crucial, as I told you. Indeed, Yogi's brand of Hindutva could be the panacea for the BJP. Each one of its top strategists is thought to have expressed this view. Why, viewers? Because Yogi's Hindutva is polarizing. I'll come to that in just a few moments. But when Yogi's candidature is announced, he will become the first chief minister in 15 years after Mulayam Singh Yadav to contest an election in Uttar Pradesh. The others have sought entry into the assembly via the upper house. So, in itself, it will be a very significant move, and it will suggest that Yogi Adityanath is extremely confident of his party's prospects. Now, here's why, viewers, Yogi Adityanath is being chosen for Ayodhya. Here are some hard facts which, on India Upfront, I always present to you, viewers, so that you come closer to the truth, so you know what the issues are, and if possible, you will have an array of arguments to build your own case and your own mind. The first reason, because viewers, Yogi's Hindutva icon brand will give that zing to the party's development pitch. The second big reason, viewers, and pay attention, Hindu consolidation with Ram Temple project will find many more takers. His mentor, Mahant Ayodhyanath, was also part of the Ram Janam Bhoomi movement, and it will allow Yogi Adityanath to lay claim to that mantle. This is a fact. Ayodhya falls in Awadh, which is the Samajwadi Party's traditional stronghold, and it will send a huge message, not only to BJP cadres, but also Samajwadi Party cadres, that I have entered your Karma Bhoomi to challenge your leadership. Yogi is a 5-time MP from Gorakhpur, which is in eastern Uttar Pradesh. Again, this allows. Again, viewers, this allows for Yogi to experiment. Of late, Gorakhpur has not been very kind to Yogi Adityanath. So he will get another leg to stand on in Ayodhya. An assembly seat with BJP. Ayodhya has been there since 1991, except for one term in 2012. So it is really a sure shot seat for Yogi to be contesting. As I said earlier, viewers, Yogi has an unerring ability to polarize voters with his sometimes controversially strident and divisive statements. A series of sound bites I can play out for you right now. Listen to some of them.
ये चुनाव 80 बनाम 20 का होगा। 80% समर्थन एक तरफ होगा, 20% दूसरी तरफ होगा, और मुझे लगता 80% सकारात्मक ऊर्जा के साथ आगे बढ़ेंगे। 20% हमेशा विरोध किए हैं, विरोध करेंगे, लेकिन सत्ता बीजेपी की आएगी। बीजेपी फिर सबका साथ, सबके विकास के अभियान को आगे बढ़ाने का कार्य करेगी।
हमने कहा था अयोध्या में प्रभु राम का भव्य मंदिर निर्माण का कार्य प्रारंभ कराएंगे। मोदी जी ने कार्य प्रारंभ करा दिया है ना, खुश हैं। और अभी काशी में भगवान विश्वनाथ का धाम भी भव्य रूप से बन रहा है, आपने देख लिया ना। और फिर मथुरा वृंदावन कैसे छूट जाएगा। जिन लोगों ने विभाजनकारी राजनीति को सदैव अपनाया, विघटन और विभाजन जिनके जीन्स का हिस्सा है, भाइयों बहनों, जिनकी खानदान और जिनके पूर्वज कहते थे कि हम तो एक्सीडेंटली हिंदू हैं, तो वे लोग अपने को हिंदू बोल भी नहीं सकते।
The opposition viewers has dismissed Yogi and the BJP's Ayodhya Wapsi, as they call it, as a crude attempt to use religion to divert attention from its own governance failures. Listen in to the Samajwadi Party spokesperson Anurag Bhadoria.
योगी जी तो वैसे ही बहुत परेशान हैं टिकट को लेके। मथुरा से मांगते हैं, कभी अयोध्या से मांगते हैं, तो अच्छा ये कहीं से भी टिकट उनको मिल जाए। उत्तर प्रदेश के अंदर में इस बार उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता ने तय कर लिया है कि जो दर्द 5 साल में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता को दिया है, उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता अपना दर्द वोट के माध्यम से भारतीय जनता पार्टी से उसका बदला लेगी और भारतीय जनता पार्टी को उत्तर प्रदेश से चलता करेगी।
Now let's open this up, viewers. Let's get in a discussion here. Let's situate this in a context that it perhaps needs to be placed in. And I want to first begin with the Samajwadi Party spokesperson, Mr. Vivek Silas. Mr. Vivek Silas, yes, you can accuse Yogi Adityanath of using religion, playing the Ram card of Ghar Vapsi or Ayodhya Vapsi or what have you. But I want to ask you a simple question. Are you unnerved by the decision, the first Chief Minister in 15 years to step in and fight, contest an election, which tells you that he's supremely confident? When will your leader announce that he is going to meet him toe to toe in any constituency, anywhere?
Yes, good evening, Rahul Ji, and good evening to the panelists. First, my deep regrets and condolences for the tragedy in West Bengal, the train tragedy. As far as Yogi Ji is concerned, it doesn't make a difference whether he is contesting from Ayodhya or from anywhere in Uttar Pradesh. If we see the holy city of Ayodhya, be it Kashi, be it Prayagraj, be it Gorakhpur, from where Yogi Ji comes, or be it the capital city of Lucknow or Mathura. If we see the Zilla Panchayat members election, I'm specifically talking about the members election, because there the voting is done by the public directly. All these districts have the Bharatiya Janata lost the elections very recently. Although they won the chairman elections due to muscle power and black money, that is a different thing. But if you see these elections of these districts, they lost it. And at that time also, Yogi Ji was the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. So it doesn't make a difference at all from where he is contesting. The thing is, what he said in 2017 and how he governed Uttar Pradesh, that is the basic thing which people are looking at the moment. And I don't think that would make any difference, because people know what the Bharatiya Janata Party said and what especially Yogi Ji has delivered. And I am talking about you and Times Now. Your survey was showing that Awadh is the weakest region for the Samajwadi Party by far. Not only in 2017, but in 2012 and before that also. But today you are saying the Awadh region has been the strongest. So you should decide first what do you mean to say, because I know somewhere down the line you are backing Yogi Ji. If we see the by-elections, you always talk about the by-elections.
I can't understand why you are attacking Times Now. The fact is that historic data from the Election Commission will tell you that this particular region is your bastion. What an opinion poll is showing is a different matter.
Let me complete, Rahul.
That can't be taken as a hard and fast. No, 1 second, sir. It's not the result of the election. It may well be that Awadh remains with you. But as of date, you are a dominant force in this particular region. That's all. So how are we, are we saying that this particular opinion poll is the result? It's not. So all I'm asking you, the question I began by asking you is look, you can respond in kind to Yogi Adityanath. Akhilesh Yadav can contest the election. At least Yogi Adityanath is putting where his metaphoric money is, where his mouth is. He's stepping in there and he's doing it. Why is your boss not getting into the electoral contest? That's the question I'm asking.
Yes, Rahul Ji, let me tell you very honestly, very shortly the list will be announced and you will see from where he is contesting, because he will be contesting the election, that is for sure. Let the list come out, you will come to know about that. As far as Ayodhya is concerned, sir, people have seen corruption in Lord Ram land scam, they have seen corruption in Kumbh Mela, and they have seen corruption in cremation grounds as well. There's nothing to hide in that. Even the Bharatiya Janata Party MLA from Loni said that we have to pay 50% commission in
you're
Lucknow.
clutching at straws.
That is said by the Bharatiya Janata Party.
This is
so people have
Ayodhya or Ram Vapsi. You are now Ram Bharose in Uttar Pradesh. That's the charge coming in from the Samajwadi Party. You have very little to show on the ground, and therefore you are invoking religion as an attempt to try and corral your voter base. Is that a fact? Is that not a fact? Respond.
Good evening, Rahul. I'd like to start with offering my thoughts and prayers to the injured and in the train accident. I want to directly go into the question that you've asked. First and foremost, the list is not out yet as far as the Samajwadi Party is concerned, and you asked the right question. Where is Akhilesh Yadav going to contest from? Fact of the matter is, when Yogi Adityanath ji said that this is a 80 banam 20 ki ladai, then what he meant was that this is a fight between those who practice constructive politics versus those who practice destructive politics. And if Yogi Ji is contesting from Ayodhya, I would say I've been reading news articles. The Seers and the Saints of Ayodhya have already welcomed such a move, such news that all media houses have been publishing. Why? Because it is going to be a direct contest between those 20% destructive forces who shot at and killed innocent sons and sadhus and karsevaks versus 80% of those, I would not only say only in Uttar Pradesh, but all over India who have been wanting that the civilizational change should come, that the civilizational wrong is corrected, and which has been done so by the judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court of India, no less. It was a constitutional
Nupur
fight.
Sharma, let me
it was
ask
a
you this.
fight for our culture.
Let me ask you this.
And we have rightly
There are two
won.
questions. Okay, there are two questions that I want to pose to you. Number one, is this decision to contest from Ayodhya being taken because Yogi Adityanath is not sure of his own bastion, Gorakhpur? There have been reverses. These are undeniable. Number one. Number two, doesn't it fit in with his 80% versus 20% strange, controversial remark, which suggested that he's only interested in the 80% Hindu vote and not the 20% Muslim vote? This reinforces that binary. Right, wrong?
Well, first and foremost, Rahul, I would like those pundits who are actually, speculating that Yogi Ji, being Yogi Ji himself, has become weak in his own backyard and bastion of Gorakhpur. Have we forgotten that he represents the Lok Sabha constituency even when BJP was not in power since the age of 26? Yogi Adityanath ji was only 26, and the kind of influence that he manages to yield in the area is unparalleled. I know for a fact, and I have people within my own circle who have told me that even as a Lok Sabha member of parliament, he would personally ensure even smallest of things like school admission and railway tickets and what have you. So he's somebody who's extremely very popular.
Are you denying?
And I want to come to
are you denying? I'm asking you.
I want to come to your second question. Yeah.
Are you no? First, you stick to the first one. 1 second. I'll come to the second. We'll both come to the second. The first question: are you denying that the BJP lost the Gorakhpur by polls? Are you denying that?
Well, Rahul, you're asking me speculatory questions. The fact of the matter is we continue to
not a speculative question at all. It's a fact.
Serve its center. Allow me, Rahul. For those pundits who have already declared that the ticket distribution has happened and has been declared, has it been? As a spokesperson of the Bharatiya Janata Party, I am absolutely unaware of all these people sitting on the panel pretending to be as if they are a part of the parliamentary board of BJP and the CEC of BJP. Let's just wait. And I would say wherever Yogi Ji contests from, he is going to win and have an impact, and a positive one. Now to...
Okay, let me bring in Shahid
Chief Minister
Siddiqui.
of Uttar Pradesh, allow me.
Let me bring in Shahid
Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh ever use Muslim and Hindu. But I would say the question should be raised of those people who decided to bring in Jinnah in Uttar Pradesh assembly elections, and also decided that Imran Masood is a messiah of peace and love. The one who threatened to cut Modi ji into boti in 2014 Lok Sabha elections.
Okay. Shahid Siddiqui, this is not about polarization. This is very clearly, says the BJP, about an assertion. And the assertion is that we can combine Vikas with Vishwas, Sabka Vishwas. And we can contest from Ayodhya and deliver both. Ram Rajya is the promise. Ram Rajya, which is the most beneficent, is the promise. Don't make this about crude polarization. This is what Nupur Sharma is trying to say. Shahid Siddiqui.
Yeah, I believe that it's the prerogative of the BJP to decide from where a particular candidate is going to contest. But the fact, you yourself expressed it, the fact that he is moving away from Gorakhpur shows his nervousness, shows he's looking for a safe seat. I don't want to discuss about what is the situation in, this region, but Ayodhya definitely is a very, very safe seat for Yogi Adityanath, and therefore he is looking for a very, very safe seat. So, he's welcome to do that. Rakesh Tikait had challenged him to contest from Muzaffarnagar. where the riots took place in 2012 and they got the benefit of those riots. But I also challenge him to come and contest from Muzaffarnagar, but it's for him to decide. So I welcome from wherever he decides, it's for him to do that. But so far as this 2080 thing is concerned, let me tell you that he didn't mention, it's the media which is putting words in his mouth of Muslim or Hindu. He has not said Hindu or Muslim. But what I can say is that he is right. I agree with him. 80% are going to be against him. There's a huge, very strong undercurrent in Uttar Pradesh against BJP, against its corruption, against rising unemployment, against rising prices, the peasantry, the middle class, the youth. Everybody is angry, and I agree, cutting across the caste factor, the gender factor, the religious factor will not function this time. This will be a different election. Cutting across all these barriers, UP is going to vote BJP out. And that is a fact. They have realized that, they are nervous about it, and therefore they are looking for new ways to really face the developing situation.
Quick response. Nupur Sharma, it's a safe seat. Mr. Siddiqui says it's a safe seat. 80% are against, 20% might be in your corner. Nupur Sharma,
Mr. Siddiqui for sure has been speaking to Yogi Adityanath every day on the telephone to know where is he seeking a ticket from. Say wait for the list to come out, and I would repeat, wherever he contests from, he'll win. But secondly, make up your mind, you opposition people. Right now, you were saying that also small parties leaving the NDA. Allow me. You know, this is not fair. I did not speak over you. Till right now, I was hearing all the opposition people saying that those small parties leaving BJP is actually going to be advantage Samajwadi Party because of the caste background that they belong to. Now you're saying that caste and religion won't make an actual difference. So that means that this is not advantage Samajwadi Party at all. And I wonder where you all were when Akhilesh Yadav was accused by the CAG no less in 2018 of siphoning of 97,000 crores during his tenure as the Chief Minister. I wonder where you all were when he decided, following from his father Mulayam Singh Yadav in 2004, to shut schools on Friday for Jummah Namaz, and irrespective of who the student is, whether a Hindu, a Sikh. This is something the DM of Shahjahanpur also followed in 2013 when he was the Chief Minister. I really wonder where you all were when he made such communal decisions during his tenure. But the fact of the matter is that Yogi Adityanath has delivered 6 lakh jobs. He's delivered 42 lakh houses. He's ensured that COVID was actually controlled, unlike Maharashtra, must I tell you, which accounted for 1/3 deaths in this country. And he's somebody who's brought the economy of Uttar Pradesh to number 2 in this country, second only to Maharashtra. I wonder where the opposition party run states figure in the top 5 list.
Okay, let me bring in Ishkaran Bhandari. Let's widen this debate. Ishkaran Bhandari, first of all, what is your view on this? The BJP going to many lengths today to say that this is not an attempt at either playing the Hindutva card, and neither is this an attempt at finding Yogi Adityanath a safe seat. Do you believe it?
Rahul, as I see it, there are different pitches which suit different players. England, a seaming bowler does well. Australia, a bouncing one will do well. India, a spinner will do well. So if the election is fought on the plank of national security, law and order, or even Hindutva, BJP is on a better position in that pitch. Anybody can win. If the election devolves into absolute caste politics, BJP will find it a difficult pitch. That's just the pitch. Anybody can win on any pitch. That's obviously a given. So to me, BJP trying to do Hindutva, what is wrong with that? There is nothing wrong in Hindutva politics. Hindutva is a way of life. Supreme Court has held that. So I don't know why some people take Hindutva as a pejorative word. It's just a way of life of a people living in Bharat. So that is, I think, nothing wrong with that. Where Yogi Adityanath contests is a welcome change, because your data is showing for 15 years no CM has contested a MLA election. So that's a welcome change. Where he contests from, my opinion, if it was to look to future, Mathura would have been, and if it is in Mathura, you will find opposition calling it a very polarizing seat. If it's Ayodhya, they will call it a safe seat. So that is for opposition to do. But the choice of a CM contesting election, I think, is a healthy trend for democracy. That is what I would say on this.
Okay, I'll come back on that. That's an important point. I'll come back on that. I want to bring in Sanjay Jha. Sanjay Jha, Rahul Gandhi contested from Wayanad. that was seen as an inclusive move. It wasn't seen, at least by the Congress, as one that was to play a Muslim card. When Mamata Banerjee contested from Nandigram and not Bhabanipur, it was seen as a great attempt at neutralizing the BJP. Why, therefore, then, is Yogi's decision or the party's decision to field Yogi Adityanath from Ayodhya? That's what we're hearing. Consensus is built around it. Why is it being seen as this communal Hindutva assertion? What is wrong with going out there and using a particular seat to send out a larger message of Ram Rajya? It's the most inclusive. Ram was not a divisive figure. You know this better than I.
Sure. Rahul, a very valid question. And first, I want to tell you that you hit the nail on the head when you said that in Gorakhpur, immediately, following Mr. Adityanath becoming the Chief Minister, the BJP lost, as they lost in Phulpur as well. And I think Mr. Adityanath must be terribly nervous because the families in Gorakhpur and in Uttar Pradesh and in India haven't forgotten those innocent children who died on account of an oxygen crisis in Gorakhpur hospital. So I think, he's probably aware of what a horrible embarrassment and a nightmare that can be for any normal individual who was at that point of time the chief of the state. The second point, again, a valid point raised by you. I really think Mr. Adityanath has a fundamental right to stand from wherever he wants. I totally agree with you. But, I disagree with my friend Shahid Bhai when he says that Ayodhya is going to be a cakewalk for Adityanath. Adityanath is definitely playing communal polarization on his 80-20. Please let us not be fooled by all this cosmetic jugglery around it.
Will you agree that when Rahul Gandhi decided to... No, then when Rahul Gandhi decided to contest from Wayanad, he was only appealing to Muslim votes and Muslim interests. After all, 70% of the population in Wayanad is Muslim.
Well, I'll answer that.
Was he playing the religion card?
I'll answer that. No, but let me answer the critical part. I'll tell you why Ayodhya remains a very dicey prospect for Adityanath. If you look at the district panchayat elections...
No, forget about that. We don't know. See, I'll tell you, this analogy that you drew, that yes, after the Lok Sabha elections, the Gorakhpur elections, as well as the Phulpur seat were lost, it's a fact. By-elections happened, they lost them, no doubt about it. The Gorakhpur and the Phulpur seat were lost, no doubt about it. I asked that. But if you remember, before that same election, there were another bunch of by-elections where the SP and Mayawati, the combined, did very well. And they eclipsed the BJP. By that standard, everyone should have said that they should have swept the state of Uttar Pradesh in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. That didn't happen. So let's not second-guess outcomes. I'm on the issue, the larger issue, of what does this symbolize? Does this symbolize Ram Rajya? And if not, if it is a communal move, then what was Rahul Gandhi's decision to go to Wayanad?
Well, that Rahul Gandhi can answer for himself. The larger point is that Mr. Adityanath...
How can Rahul Gandhi answer for himself? You're the person who was in the thick of it back then. You weren't suspended.
If there were jobs, 1 minute, if there were jobs, if there was really a booming economy, if there's a gentleman on your show who believes Hindutva is a way of life, my dear friend, Haridwar is not a way of life. The Supreme Court is looking into it.
Okay, I need to answer this.
And be clever by half. So the larger issue is that Uttar Pradesh has nothing to offer.
Ishkaran Bhandari wants to come in. Fair enough. Good question. Ishkaran Bhandari.
And they fear defeat.
Okay. Ishkaran Bhandari, quick response. And Vivek Silas, I'm coming out to you for the final question. Yes. Ishkaran Bhandari, quick response.
Firstly, one thing is very amusing. Where Yogi Adityanath contests, everybody can have an opinion. But where Rahul Gandhi contests, we need to go ask Rahul Gandhi for an opinion. People can't dare to have an opinion on this. So that is very interesting. And secondly, I may add, Rahul Gandhi went to a place where I do not know whether he even knows the local language. So Yogi Adityanath is at least contesting in UP, where every dialect and every language he knows very well. But that's a different point. When I said Hindutva is a way of life, that's a Supreme Court judgment. My friend Sanjay can read the judgment where it is described as a way of life.
I'm talking about Haridwar. Please don't try and dodge it.
Okay, so I'm asking you. I'm asking Vivek Silas. Vivek Silas, simple, straightforward question.
Yes.
At least Yogi Adityanath is willing to test his convictions. He is willing to take his manifesto to the people. If Akhilesh Yadav will not do so, will you accept that that was the first inkling that he is not sure of the outcome? Yes or no?
No, we'll come out with our genuine, manifesto, and Akhilesh Ji is definitely going to contest. But as I told you, at the moment the Bharatiya Janata Party has become a sinking ship, and no one wants to stay on this. I told you.
Who says that he's contesting?
I know. The cabinet ministers of the Yogi.
No, I'm asking you.
I say he's contesting.
Has he said it?
I say he's contesting.
You might say it, but has he said it? Has he said?
I am telling you as a responsible national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party. Let me complete, sir. Don't interrupt me. I am telling you as a national spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party that he will be contesting the 2022 polls from Uttar Pradesh. That is for sure.
Let me tell you, the only time Akhilesh Yadav has gone on record, viewers, was on the 1st of November 2021, 2 months ago, where he said, I'm not contesting UP elections, and party spokesman had to clarify on his behalf. That is a matter of record. Please go out there, viewers, and check it for yourselves. That was the last time there was a comment made. He has been playing ducks and drakes ever since then on that question. I leave it at that, viewers. I need to come back. Updates from Bengal on the train tragedy, viewers. 5 dead. There is still search and rescue operations on. The latest updates in just 3 minutes. Stay with me.